Well, hello everybody, and welcome back. I just got through watching season 3 of Love, Death, and Robots, and I tell you, it's one of my favorite series that's came out. As a lot of you guys know, it originally started off it was going to be a heavy metal movie. If you're a fan of heavy metal, the magazine and the movies, the animated series, then this was supposed to. It started off as a sequel to that. That deal fell through, and Love, Death, and Robots was born. Now I love this series because it's a bunch of different animators, a bunch of different animation styles, telling a bunch of weird stories. Season 3 is a big step up from season 2. Now season 2 wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. Season 2 was epic. It was fun. It was just a little bit more dark in tone and a little bit more subdued. Season 3 comes back with a lot of amazing animation, and it's a little bit more lighthearted, and it's a whole lot of fun. Now it starts off with 3 robots exit strategies. The 3 robots are, of course, kind of the main characters of Love, Death, and Robots. They've been in every season, and they're super funny. Voice acting is on point on this, retelling the tale of the last days of humanity and the exit strategies that we had. Very funny, very nice, nicely put together, and it's got a little bit of a message to it, but super good opening, I thought. Now the next story up after our beloved 3 robot series is Bad Traveling, and this is a very dark, more horror based kind of story. It is a very unique animation on this one. I really enjoyed this one. It's the tale of a group of sailors in some kind of weird world who come across this mysterious creature in the dark oceans, and all kinds of craziness ensues from there. This is one of the darker, more creepier entries, and it kind of hits you in the face right off the bat. So, very good. Next up is The Very Pulse of the Machine. This is a story about a couple of astronauts who were on the moon Io of Jupiter, and just the storyline, the way it was animated, this became one of my favorite entries into this season. It is not a horror story. It is very much a fantastical voyage. I really can't say enough how much I love The Very Pulse of the Machine. It was awesome. Now we're getting to the fun part of Love, Death, and Robots Season 3, Night of the Many Dead. Many as in M-I-N-I, Many Dead. This is some kind of, I don't know how they filmed this. It's very strange. It's a very strange aesthetic, but it is the tale of a zombie apocalypse, and it is all in these little miniature forms, and it is super funny. It is super good. I loved every bit about this, and I know some of my friends out there who are big zombie movie fans. This will become your favorite entry, but this very, very fun ride and very uniquely done. I loved it. Now, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. The next story up, Kill Team Kill, it's my favorite. This is my favorite of section of this whole season. My favorite episode. Kill Team Kill is a crazy bunch of mercenary soldier type guys fighting a mechanized grizzly bear. And if that doesn't sound crazy enough, this is by far the funniest entry. It is the most action-packed episode. If you love funny, epic tales of mercenaries fighting a giant mechanized grizzly bear, this is the one for you. And it is hands down my favorite episode of this season. Now, after all the fun of Kill Team Kill, we drop it back down to the Swarm, and this is where it goes a little bit darker again. The Swarm is the tale of a creature, a hive of creatures in space, and it is very well told. It gives you just enough information so that you know what's going on. It's kind of predictable. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit predictable, but it's very well animated, very well done, very unique, cool concept, and it leaves open ended. Not going to spoil anything, but it was very, very well made, and it was a darker entry that kind of brought the mood back down after Kill Team Kill. Next up, we got Mason's Rats, and this is another cool one. I can't remember in I think it was season one, the junkyard episode. Looked like the same kind of animation. It was CGI, but it almost had that claymation kind of feel to it. But Mason's Rats is the tale of a farmer in some kind of distant future trying to go about his business, but his rats have begun evolving, and so does his methods of trying to deal with these rats. Very cool little story, and I love the way this one ended. Now, I'm a big H.P. Lovecraft fan, so I'm not going to spoil anything by talking too much about In the Vaulted Halls Entombed. The animation on this one is so pristine and so good. At first, I thought it was a live action scene for a second. Then your brain picks up on the CGI and you realize what you're watching. This is a very dark, cool story. It is about a group of modern soldiers, presumably American soldiers, following some insurgents into a cave, and what happens after that, you will have to watch that for yourself. But if you're a H.P. Lovecraft fan, this one's going to be for you. Now, the last entry in this is Jabarro, and if you've seen the previews for Love, Death, and Robots 3, you've seen the goddess coming out of the water, all covered in gold and stuff. This is the tale of Jabarro. Very, very unique style in this one. I loved the way it mixed animation. The story was awesome, and the dance. There's a lot of dance in this one, and it is awesome. It's a great tale. I will give you one kind of hint. It took me a minute to pick up on it, and I'm sure that you could pick up on it without me telling you. But Jabarro is like a water goddess, a banshee, or a siren. Maybe she draws people into the water, and not going to really say much except for it is about the main character, who is not necessarily the greatest guy in the world, who happens to be deaf, so he can't hear her cries. But very dark little ending to season 3. Jabarro, I love the aesthetics of this. I loved the way they made her look. I loved the way he acted. It gave me a very Sam Raimi Evil Dead kind of feel to it, even though it was a completely different story. And when you watch it, you'll see what I mean. But Jabarro, it's a very, very good ending to season 3. Now, all in all, I will tell you that season 3 has been awesome. Season 2 was really good. Season 2 was fine. I really enjoyed season 2, but it felt a little bit, I don't know, almost subdued, a little bit darker, more subdued. Season 3 comes right back in and blows up right in your face with all kinds of epic sci-fi animated goodness, and season 3 was worth the wait, and I hope they keep this series up, because this is absolutely my favorite thing on Netflix. I love everything about this entire series, and even though season 2 was a little bit more subdued, I still loved it. But season 3 came back with a vengeance. Rock on. If you have not checked out Love, Death, and Robots, get your ass over to Netflix. You've got 3 seasons of this stuff to watch, and it just gets better and better. Y'all take care. Love ya. Rock on. And keep watching that weird stuff.